Good morning, guys. Today we're going to begin our read aloud with Chapter 8 of Mockingbird, and this chapter is called Bambi. I'm doing my group project on the heart and how it works, and how a gunshot wound to the heart makes it stop working, and what they do with the body when it's dead, which is cremate it. At least that's what happened to Devin. When I finish my last drawing, I go to the sofa where Dad is sitting and I show it to him. He reads it, and then his head drops almost to his knees. The bump on his throat goes in and out every time that he swallows. He sniffs several times, which means at least 3 times, and actually he sniffs 5 times before I say, "What's wrong with it?" "Nothing," he says. It's very well done. I need to go take a shower. You can pick out a video to watch." Yay! And I don't even have all the stickers I need for a video, so I run over to the shelf with the videos and I stop. "Why are you taking a shower at night? You always take a shower in the morning." He's already out of the living room. I'm a little sore, and I don't hear what he says after that, except he must be really sore because I can hear him crying even before the shower turns on. I don't want to hear the crying, so I focus on my favorite videos. I don't like the ones the other girls at school like, with the loud music and the girls who giggle and dance. I like cartoons. I pick up Cinderella, but it's kind of a stupid story. Not because she lost a shoe. I lose shoes all the time. But if you know where you lost a shoe, why don't you go back and get it? And if you don't know, Devin always says go back to the last place you remember having it and start looking from there. Cinderella should go back to the dance. Snow White is okay because of the dwarves, and Pocahontas is good because of the animals, but Devin says the music is crying music, and Dad is already crying, so I don't want to do that. I pull out Bambi and I look at it. Oh, Bambi reminds me how smart I am. Sometimes I'm smarter than Devin, even though he's 3 years and 1 month and 16 days older than me. Even when I was 5 years old and we watched Bambi. Bambi's mother is shot dead. You don't see her die because it's cartoon, but you hear the gun and you see Bambi call and call for his mother and she never comes back. So she's definitely dead. Devin kept saying, "She can't be dead, she can't be dead." And I said, "She's dead, Devin." And he started crying and saying, "She's coming back, she has to come back." So I had to yell at him, "She's dead and she's never coming back." And Dad had to come and take Devin out of the room because, like Dad said, you shouldn't say things like that. I didn't know why Devin didn't get it, that the mother was dead. Our mother died 2 years before we watched Bambi, so he should have known that mothers die and they don't come back again, no matter how much you cry or call for them, especially if they're shot dead. I look over at Devin's wooden chest. The air from the heat pump is making the sheet that's covering it lift up a little bit, and then it stops, dead, the sheet. I look back at the Bambi video. I put it back on the shelf because it's giving me a recess feeling in my stomach and I don't know why. So I want to pause right there. I want us to start understanding how Caitlin connects her emotions to her feelings. When she says that recess feeling, remember when the cousin of the boy who shot her brother and her had that situation on the playground, and she started bubbling up inside and she started screaming and she didn't even realize it was her screaming. That's what she means when she says that recess feeling, that bubbling up in her stomach. Let's continue reading chapter 9. This one is called No Running, Walking. When I go to Mrs. Brooke time, she says to go get my coat because we're switching our schedule. "Today?" She nods. "And for the rest of the year." She shuts her door and her shoes start squeaking across the floor toward the coat hooks outside my classroom. Why? I don't like switching things. It's always recess first, yuck, and then Mrs. Brooke time. Her shoes keep squeaking down the hall, so I have to run to catch up with her because there is no running in the halls. What's the schedule going to be now? "We're going to have our time together while we walk around the playground during your regular recess. And then you can stay outside and have recess with the kindergarten through 2nd graders." I look at the person. 2 recesses? I don't even like 1 recess. "But the little kids are very sweet, and I'll be with you for recess with the older kids because sometimes they can be—" She presses her lips together. I think it's a mad face. "A little rough." I think about Josh, and I wonder why a grown-up wants to go to recess at all. Okay, don't even try to get me on the monkey bars. It's too dangerous. Mrs. Brooks smiles. I promise you I'll avoid the monkey bars. I take the jacket from the hook and I put it on as Mrs. Brooks pushes the bar on the door to the playground, and it clanks open. The brightness outside hurts my eyes and the wind makes them water and the screaming on the playground stabs my ears. I suck my sleeve and I walk fast to try to get away from it, even though it follows me everywhere. Caitlin, what are you doing so far ahead of me? I'm walking and you're slow. Usually when two people go for a walk together, Miss Brooks says, they actually walk together. Oh, I say, and I keep walking. Caitlin, walk back to me, please. So I walk backward to her and I stop. Now what? Let's walk next to each other. That's what going for a walk together means. She puts her right foot in front of her left foot and I do the same thing. You don't need to stare at my feet, she says, and you don't need to match my exact stride. Or use your left foot when I use mine. Then how is that walking together, I ask. We're going to keep pace with each other because we're talking to each other while we walk. Sometimes we make eye contact too. That lets the other person know that we are listening and that we're interested. What if we're not interested? She looks at the person. She opens her eyes wide and she speaks slowly. We're going to act like we're interested. Okay, well, we'll use this time to observe other people and maybe talk to them. We really need to work hard on making friends. Why? I ask. Don't you have any? Recess isn't the best place to make friends. I want to work on friendships for you. You'll be going to middle school soon, and I want you to have friends there. Middle school is 6th grade, I reminded her. That's next year. Actually, you only have a few months left in elementary school. 6th grade starts in August. She's right. Why does everyone say next year? It's not next year, it's this year. I suck on my sleeve some more, even though I know Miss Brooke doesn't like me to. There will be more group projects in middle school, so you will have to learn to deal with that. Having friends will help. Can I deal with it by being in my own group? Mrs. Brooks shakes her head. This means no. I keep sucking my sleeve. Caitlin, why don't you try clasping your hands together or putting your hands in your pockets and squeezing them into fists? Or one of the other things that we talked about instead of sucking on your sleeve. I stop sucking my sleeve, but I'll go back to it later when she forgets because I am persistent. I stop sucking my sleeve. She nods at the kids on the playground and tells me what they're doing right now and how they're feeling, but I don't know how she can tell. I don't even know which kids she's talking about. They all move around too fast, and when she mentions the boy in the purple hooded sweatshirt, I keep trying to keep up with him, and I wish that I had a purple sweatshirt like that because purple is my favorite color. And then I think I might like a hood, and it's fun to watch the flying purple hood when he runs really fast. Caitlin! What? You're far ahead of me again. We're supposed to be keeping pace with each other so we can talk. Oh, I thought you were done talking. Look me in the eyes when we walk and talk. That will help you keep pace. I keep switching my eyes to give them a break, but she keeps catching me. Finally she said, There. That's much better. Except my eyes hurt and my neck is stiff. How's that better? When the bell rings, Mrs. Brooke tells me that I have 20 minutes of recess with the little kids and then I have to go back to my classroom like they do. If you have any trouble, go and see one of the teachers. Inside? No. There are always at least 3 teachers on recess duty out here. Really? I never see any teachers outside at big kid recess. We always have several outside, but they're kept quite busy because there are a lot of kids on the playground at the same time. I know, too many. It's way too loud. So I want you to take a second and think about why do you think Mrs. Brooke is really encouraging Caitlin to participate in recess time? Why do you think she thinks this is going to be a good growth area for Caitlin? Write that down in your journal or ELA notebook, and I'll be able to check that when we do our note check at the end of the week.